Gilmore to respond to the debate.
Chairperson and delegates, first of all, I want to thank every delegate who contributed to this very democratic discussion and debate here this evening. I want to also take the opportunity of thanking Greg Sparks and the members of the 21st Century Commission who worked so hard in preparing this report. I'm obviously not going to reply in the short time available to me to every point that every delegate has made, and I hope you understand that. But I want to pick a couple of key ones. First of all, a number of people said here in the course of the afternoon that, it doesn't matter how you vote here today, that, things will go on, we will win the election, we'll lead a government, and Labour will be fine. It does matter how you vote here this evening. This is a very important decision for the Labour Party. I have been up and down this country. I have been in and out of every committee that this party has and every organ of its organisation. And I can tell you this. If we don't change the way we are organising, broaden the base of this party, and make sure we are represented in every part of the country, and make sure we do our business professionally and democratically, then we will not get the opportunity to lead a government in this country. This decision to reform the way we do our business is important for our party. The second point that I want to address is a suggestion that somehow this report is not democratic, that the measures are not democratic. We are moving, we decided in Wexford, to move from a conference every 2 years to a conference every year. We are proposing to set up under these rules, a central council, representative of every constituency and every section of the party. And it's not true what one delegate said here in the course of the debate, that the sections wouldn't be on the central council. They will be on the central council. And the central council will make the political decisions. It's the central council that will approve the party's manifesto for the next election. It's the Central Council that will hear and consider the report of the party leader following the next election and set out the kind of strategy that we may pursue after that election. It's the Central Council who will decide whether or not I continue in leadership or any of the officers of the party continue in leadership if we're not doing our job. The Central Council will be the key political body of the party. We are setting up and proposing to set up an executive board which will deal efficiently with the business side of the party. Let me tell you one story. We spent 10 minutes at an NEC meeting dealing with the party's budget for 2009. 10 minutes. A reason that happened was because we had a very big agenda. Political issues, the state of the country, and so on. We cannot continue, colleagues, doing our business without having a board or a body that deals with the organisational and the resource side of the party. That's why we need a small executive board that's capable of dealing with what I call the business and administrative side of the party's organisation. The final point that I want to make is in respect of candidate selection. Now, there seems to be an idea that what is being proposed for candidate selection is going to remove the right of members to select candidates. That's rubbish. The members of the party will select the candidates at selection conventions. What is proposed to happen is, in consultation with each committee, and this is what's in the report, in consultation with each constituency, there will be a pre-selection process so that the selection conventions will be presented with a panel of candidates. That's not what's happening at the moment. Every one of you who've been at selection conventions know that about 90% of our selection conventions, we end up with one candidate offering for selection conventions. This process is not about trying to restrict the number of candidates that we have offering for selection conventions. It's about broadening it. And we need to broaden it if we're going to deal and we're going to need to broaden it if we're going to bring forward new candidates and deal with the problem of succession that everybody in this hall knows that we have a difficulty with. This is a very large gathering here this afternoon. This report This revision of the Constitution is not about changing the rules for this party as it is or as it was. This proposal that's before you today is about building the Labour Party of the future, a Labour Party that will have twice this number at its annual conference, 3 times this number at its annual conference, that will penetrate and win seats in every town, every county, every constituency of this country and be the leading party in this country because we want it to be. These changes are not about the present. These changes are about building the kind of party that we need for the future if we are to deliver the change and the leadership that this country is crying out for. This is an important decision here this afternoon, and I'm asking you, each of you individually, to support me in the passage of this motion and in the adoption of this new constitution, which is in the interests of our party and ultimately, and this is what really matters, is in the interests of our country, because it doesn't matter at the end of the day what we do as a party or what we do in our internal business. What really matters is how fit this party is to provide the leadership for this country that this country now needs.